Hey guys, I'm Jonathan, one-third of the i5 podcast team, just a one-page video here in response to some comments made on a BBC Live show, but before I get onto that, remember to hit the trinity of the like, subscribe and the little bell, and with that, onto the topic at hand. Immigration is a very controversial political battleground right now in the United Kingdom, and everyone and their grandma has an opinion on it. On a recent BBC Radio Live show, a woman named Patrisha called in and made some comments which left the host shocked. I'll play the clip now.
I think it's very tough, and I'm sorry there will be some deaths. I truly am sorry about that, but we should not let them land.
Sorry, what did you say?
We should not let the boats land.
No, the bit before you.
I'm truly sorry that there will be some deaths, because when the boats turn back, there will be some deaths, and that's really, really a bad thing. But they will then stop coming.
I understand why the host went silent as a way to highlight how shocking the comments were, but I think also they did that to be a bit dramatic for it to go viral online and bring in the views, instead of going into immediately dismantling those comments. To make myself very clear, I disagree profoundly with what that caller said. That kind of thing belongs on a Mike Graham show on Talk TV. The breakdown of her statement is basically, don't allow any immigrants at sea to land and let them die in the channel. The death from the deliberate inaction of failing to rescue them would act as a deterrent to others coming into the country. That's the theory behind it anyway. If you are against immigration, these kinds of statements are not going to help your cause and will leave you wide open to criticism of being called callous, cruel and racist, among other things, and allow left-wing outlets to label everyone as racist who may be against immigration, in the context of this situation at least. Furthermore, these comments may have been delivered in an articulate way, but they are not civilized comments and reflect very badly on the person making them. Her point can be dismantled in 3 arguments. The first, the idea of using death as a deterrent is impractical in this situation. There have been quite a few deaths already, and the numbers of those risking their lives to cross the channel in order to claim asylum here have already increased. There was a tragic incident in 2021 where 27 people drowned in a narrow maritime area in the channel. The victims consisted of 17 men, 7 women and 3 children. There have been other incidents which resulted in the loss of life of those seeking asylum, and it's still not deterred more from trying to make that journey. The numbers have gone up in this context. Leaving them in the ocean to die won't deter them. Secondly, preventing them from landing and leaving them to die at sea is illegal. There are multiple international conventions which require the UK to conduct effective search and rescue operations in the Channel. The same with the French. Also, the International Convention on Maritime Search and Rescue obligates the UK rescue services to disembark all those intercepted or rescued at sea at a place of safety, which is required to be dry land. Regardless of whether they are men of fighting age, refugees fleeing war zones, economic migrants, or criminals, why someone is making the journey, and why you think they are making the journey, is irrelevant when it comes to these conventions. All people are required to be rescued and delivered to a place of safety under current international conventions. Also, plonking those seeking asylum on a barge straight from rescue to save them would be illegal, in case anyone was thinking that would be a time saver. Thirdly, if you changed international law and opted out of the conventions allowing the leaving of people to die in the Channel to become legal, it would be immoral, and the UK would become a callous state akin to that of Russia if they took such an action. The UK would become a pariah internationally, and if you believe in principle that leaving people to die is acceptable for the purpose of deterring them from attempting the trip, then I defer you to the first argument, that it would be impractical to leave those claiming asylum in the sea and not allowing them to land, because it still wouldn't deter people from making the journey in the first place. Anyway, those are my responses to these comments. If you liked what you heard or disagree, please leave a comment. Jim does love to argue. And please hit the like, subscribe and ring the little bell, the Holy Trinity. I'm Jonathan, one half of the i5 podcast team that I host alongside my co-host Jim, and I'm going to sit and wait for Armored Core to come out. Later all.